So now we have a special address from a lifetime member of SHPE. And I say it like that because that's how he likes to say it. You know Miguel, right? Boricua. He has been a champion of our cause for more than 35 years and is going to share with us his thoughts on where SHPE is headed and a special tribute to someone very special in his life. So please, a big SHPE welcome to Mr. Miguel Alemañy.
SHPE. Good evening and welcome to the 41st SHPE National Conference. I'd like to welcome the industry, academia, and government partners that are here today supporting us. In particular, I want to welcome the IPC companies, right there. That's most subset of supporters that go the extra mile to support and maintain SHPE and its mission, and whose financial support allows us to do as much as we do. Thank you very much. I want to also welcome the student members. You are the reason why we exist. It is for you that we do what we do, and it is for you that we are here. Without our members, we wouldn't have a reason to be. Welcome also the professional members, students that have graduated to a new level in life, are now back here helping the organization as a way to give back, in addition to benefiting from the professional program, and sooner or later we're going to get it right. I know. I especially want to welcome our staff, the lifeblood of our organization. Without your hard work and dedication, we would not exist. I'm going to borrow a phrase from somebody else. If we were to lose all our financial support and all of our assets, but we keep our staff, we would rebuild from the ground up and we would be SHPE once again. Thank you for all you do every day of the year. Lastly, I want to welcome the MIAS board and its members to our first joint conference. We're looking forward to significant synergies and joint growth in the future. Tonight, I'm going to talk 3 points, 2 organizational and 1 very personal. Let me start with the first one. SHPE is on fire. Unbelievable. Our organization is the healthiest and most financially stable it has ever been. This is the result, by the way, of the hard work started by Diana Gomez in 2003 and followed by Barry and Claudia years later. I have been associated with SHPE for about 20 years, but the last 14 years have seen a major transformation. For example, in 2003, when this revolution started, our career fair was too late in the spring to be effective. Most jobs had already been filled. We barely had 7,000 members, about 1,000 professionals, and 0 lifetime members. Well, maybe 1. Our finances were underwater with about a $200,000 deficit, and we barely had $1 million in cash. And for this organization, that was a major drawback. We even had less than 30 IPC companies helping us. Diana, with the help of 7 very committed IPC companies, set out on a mission to fix this. By 2010, things were moving along very well. However, finances were not good. They were going the wrong direction. That was due to investments that we were making for the future. Our deficit had grown, not reduced, to $300,000, and we had hardly any cash on hand, $600,000. However, that allowed us to make investments, and those investments were paying off. The career fair had moved to the fall, where it was much more useful, and the industry and student members, IPCs had grown to over 40. We had hired more professional staff, those same staff we have here tonight, and the organization was on its way to where we are today. Today, SHPE has over 10,000 members, well on its way to 11,000, making it the largest technical Hispanic organization in the country. We have We have about 600 lifetime members, twice the number of professionals, and almost 50 IPCs. More importantly, we took that $300,000 deficit and turned it into a $750,000 surplus. And we have about $4 million in cash. This has been an amazing performance by the staff, the IPC companies that help us do this, the previous boards who have been amazing, and particularly the last few chairs. I am celebrating this today because normally we just plow ahead. We just keep going. And it is time that this work be recognized. I am taking the moment to acknowledge all this work. Thanks to all whose hard work made this happen. Now applause. Now, one little point before we get too excited. We have cash on hand, but we have obligations too. We have a surplus, but that surplus evaporates if the career fair doesn't perform, or more importantly, as we invest in our future. In fact, we predict that we will end up this year with significantly lower cash than we had last year, in great part due to the investments that we are making today in our infrastructure to sustain our growth. So we need your support. We continue to rely on your support. Being financially sound does not mean we don't need the help. It means we're managing the work much more efficiently, but we still need your financial help every day. My second point, and I'm going to go fast on this one, our future is bright. Having said everything I said before, the hard work continues to be ahead of us. We can't take a break and rest. We must continue the transformation we started in 2003. We have a new board, composed of both appointed and elected members, and it has a new expanded role, which I have talked about during the week. While in the past the board was tactical, its role is now strategic. While the board used to be consumed with executional details, like for example, how the registration worked, or managing the day-to-day budget and the staff, now it will be focused on the strategic decisions and choices that are going to be critical for our future. Like for example, deciding what should be our level, our presence level in front of government. What are our growth goals? How are we going to achieve them? What skill sets does the organization need? Where are our additional sources of funds? Alliances with other similar organizations, et cetera, et cetera. The tactical work that they used to do will be managed instead by the CEO and her staff, as it is the case with typical organizations like this one. This allows us to attract top industry executive talent, academia and government leaders to our board, people who can set a strategic course for growth and strength for us and guide the CEO and the staff to deliver it. I said earlier, SHPE is on fire, well, so is our future. I am very excited. Now again, una de cal, una de arena, we have to be very transparent. We are going to encounter problems. We are going to have financial setbacks. That happens. We're going to suffer losses. That is normal. But the path we're charting today is solid and will take our organization a major step forward. We're enrolling your chapter leaders and the IPC companies in this journey so all of you can have a chance to input and help us guide this work. I'm looking forward to the next 20 years of SHPE with significant enthusiasm and hope, and I trust you will too. Finally, my last and personal point tonight. It is very personal. I apologize if this doesn't seem relevant to you at the beginning, but I have a purpose in sharing this. I'm going to talk about my mother. My mother lived for 91 years and had a fantastic and rich but difficult life. She lost her firstborn at childbirth, and while she had me years later, it eventually cost her her marriage. She raised me as a single mother and did not have the chance to enjoy the good things in life. We barely made it for many years. You had no idea what it is to go to sleep hungry. She dropped out of college to do work, and worked like a horse to send me to grad school and college. And she battled life. She had breast cancer around 1988 and a partial mastectomy. She was given a prognosis of 5 years of life, but she fought back and continued to live past these 5 years. In fact, she went back to school and got a bachelor's and a master's degrees as she had wanted to do when she was young. However, life was not done with her. Around 1996, she was again diagnosed with breast cancer, and tragically, it had metastasized to her lymph nodes, the worst that can happen for a cancer patient. This time she had a full mastectomy and was given 6 months to live. The doctor was very clear. Once it's pressed into the lymphatic system, there isn't much that can be done. It's game over. I was advised by the doctor to not tell her so she wouldn't get depressed, but I knew better. I knew she would never forgive me if I had that information and never told her. So I went ahead and told her immediately. I explained to her the doctor had said that what happened when cancer gets into the lymphatic system and there is no hope. And you can imagine how difficult that conversation was. It's not every day you get to tell your parent that she is dying and she's going to die in 6 months. However, she just stared back. And she had a classical, "Don't make me get the chancleta" look. And she said, "No." And I said, what do you mean? And she said, "No, I'm not going to die in 6 months." I said, "But Mom, the doctor explained." He was very clear. The doctor explained, and then she interrupted me and said, "No." She didn't say no, she said no. The doctor knows medicine, but he doesn't know me. I am not going to die in 6 months, and this is the end of this topic. We are not having this conversation ever again. My mother passed away 21 years later this summer of an unexpected heart attack. The one thing she had never had issues with is the one thing that killed her. She worked very hard for her family and the community. She sat on nonprofit boards and helped low-income people better their lives. She was part of the Union of American Women, the Civic Women's Organization, and a host of other organizations designed to help the community. She raised me, she gave me the values I have, made me who I am today, and instilled in me the drive to always succeed in everything I do. She taught me everything is possible. There's never a reason to be bored, and happiness is made. It doesn't come to you. And she taught me to never, ever give up. She was unconventional, knew everyone, everywhere, and the most extrovert person I have ever met in my life. I'm an introvert. It was very difficult to be the son of an extrovert, very difficult. To her, life was a big party to be enjoyed, in spite of setbacks or even death sentences. She had a passion for people and life, and she lived her life every single day to the most. She and I fought, and we disagreed, especially about politics, long story. But we had a unique relationship. She was my mother, my father, confidant, mentor, and best friend. And I want to celebrate what she did and make her an example for others who face adversity in life. To do that, I am establishing a fund in her name, Helen Cuesta, to give a scholarship per year to deserving student in SHPE who has demonstrated ability to overcome life's obstacles and who doesn't give up. Someone who is on his or her way to success in life in spite of what life throws their way. I will do this for as long as I'm able to work or receive income. Thank you and good night. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Have a safe flight home. And thank you again for your support.
Wow. Keep it going. That was an amazing story. Wow. It's SHPE from now on. That's it. He wins. Ganaste. Thank you, Miguel, for your service and devotion to SHPE and for being, what a handsome man, right? He still is, but there were some pictures there. It was like, wow, caliente, papa.